welcome back to the channel. I'm Demarius Jackson, back with Jazz Improv Basics, and today we're talking multiphonics. Now, if you've never heard that term before as it relates to the saxophone, all it is playing more than one note at a time, playing chords essentially on the saxophone. Now, we're not talking about pretty chords on a piano or keyboard or guitar or whatever instrument that allows that to happen naturally. It's not going to sound as pretty. However, they can be useful. I've used them before in a couple of classical pieces that I've played, contemporary classical pieces. I've also heard them used in improvisation as well. Two of my favorite saxophone players, and modern saxophone players, I should say, use them extensively. Extensively is probably being nice. They use them in their improvisation, and they come across well. It's just another texture, you can add to your playing. Those two saxophone players are Baptiste Herbin. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. It's a French saxophone player. He is an absolute monster. He's used them in his most recent recording on Poor Butterfly, I believe it was. And the other one is Ben Van Gelder. I'll try to remember and link them below, as well as where you can find them exactly on the recordings to see how they use them in their playing. But both of those guys are monster players, and I'm just going to go over four of my favorite ones that I've used, that I've used before in the past and I've used in these pieces, and maybe you can practice them and use them yourself. So the first one, and I apologize now, I can do some research, but for this video I'm just going to show you the actual fingerings to play them. You got to use your ear on where to use them appropriately. But the fingers for the first one, let's talk about this one. So you're going to basically act as though you're playing a low C. So 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then your low C here. No octave key in the back, and just raise this first finger. All right, so low C, raise the first finger. It sounds like this. Alright, and for some people, you're going to have, I made another video about voicing. You might have to experiment with your voicing. Some people it comes off naturally, but once again, if you don't know what voicing is, go back and look at that video, but it's basically your tongue placement. I would try to play them softly at first. And hopefully they'll come on out for you. Alright, so the next multiphonic fingering that we're going to use, we're going to act as if we're playing a low B this time. Low B. So we have this one. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Our low C. Spatula key over here. And then we're just going to raise. There we go. I had to think of it. We're going to raise this first finger as well. So same thing as before, except we're playing a low B, raising this first finger. Sounds like this. And then our last one is like this. We're going to finger a low B flat. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Our low C here. A low B flat on our spatula key. And we're raising our second finger on our right hand. Right? Like our F sharp finger down here. Sounds like this. That one's a little bit harder to control. So let's do them all. So I'll do them in order. And you can kind of hear the differences in pitch between the three. Hopefully you can definitely hear them. And hopefully they'll be useful for your playing. Let's go ahead and throw in one more. Why not? This one's a little strange for me. I don't use this one nearly as often. Hopefully it comes out. But this one is same thing. So no octave key, no register key on any of these. And we're playing our E. So we have 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 over here, and then you're gonna position your hand to where you can play your key up here, your high E key. I call it high E. Either way, it sounds like this. And that's probably the most obnoxious one of them all. The previous ones I actually used in the classical piece I told you about. It's a piece, if you want to look it up, it's called Shoggoth Mana by Stephen Gallant, I believe is his name. I remember doing some research when I did the piece in my undergrad. I think he studied up in Michigan with Don Senta. It's a nice piece, contemporary piece used with the, I believe it's a DX7. But regardless, those are the multiphonic fingerings. Leave me a comment below. I can, if you need me to, I can go ahead and make a fingering chart for these and PDF, and that way you can print it out and practice them on your own and use them in your playing. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave me a comment. Remember to subscribe. And until next time, happy practicing.